Hello, my dear children. Welcome to today's class. I hope everyone is doing great. So, what are we learning today? We will be learning about animals and their young ones. So, animals और उनके cute little young ones. So, animals may human beings be included. Why? Because we are also social animals. So, let's start reading and we will be focusing on animals that lay eggs and animals that give birth to their young ones. All living beings reproduce their own kind to maintain life on earth. तो हर जो लिविंग बीइंग है, whether it's plants or humans or animals, they reproduce. What do you mean by reproduce? They make more of their own kind to maintain life on earth. अगर वो अपने जैसे और creatures को नहीं create करेंगे, the life will end on earth. So this process of making more creatures of their own kind is known as reproduction. They will disappear from the planet if they do not reproduce. The process by which animals produce their own kind is called reproduction. The process of reproduction is essential for the survival of life on earth. All the animals do not reproduce in the same way. सब animals एक ही तरीके से दूसरे creatures को create नहीं करते. There are different methods to do that. कुछ creatures, कुछ animals हैं who lay eggs, कुछ animals हैं जो babies born करते हैं. So animals have two ways to reproduce. Some give birth to their young ones and some lay eggs. Animals that lay eggs. So we will first talk about animals that lay eggs. जो eggs lay करते हैं, अंडे देते हैं. Many animals reproduce by laying eggs, such as birds, fish, reptiles, and insects. Such animals are called egg-laying animals. तो कौन से animals हैं जो eggs को lay करते हैं? There are birds, fish, reptiles, and insects. Once the egg matures, the young ones hatch out. जब जो egg है वो पूरा तरीके से mature हो जाता है, पूरी तरीके से तैयार हो जाता है, then it hatch out the young ones. तो मतलब वो फूट जाता है और उसमें से young बच्चा बाहर आ जाता है. Eggs have almost similar structure. सभी creatures के जो egg होते हैं उसका structure जो है वो लगभग same ही होता है, almost same ही होता है. They come in variety of colors and sizes. कुछ eggs बहुत छोटे होते हैं जिसको microscope से देखना पड़ता है, कुछ medium size के होते हैं और कुछ बहुत बड़े बड़े भी होते हैं. For example, ostrich egg. An egg has thin protective outer covering called egg shell. तो इफ यू कैन सी इन द पिक्चर, जो आउटर कवरिंग है जिसको व्हेन यू ईट एग, जब हम hen या डक का एग खाते हैं, उस आउटर कवरिंग को जो हम ब्रेक करते हैं, जो एक पतली सी आउटर कवरिंग है, उसको वी कॉल इट शेल. दिस प्रोटेक्ट्स द ग्रोइंग पार्ट्स इनसाइड विद इन द शेल. तो शेल के अंदर जो पार्ट होता है वो प्रोटेक्ट करता है शेल अंदर के ग्रोइंग पार्ट को. अब अंदर कौन से पार्ट्स हैं? दो पार्ट हैं. एक पार्ट जो वाइट जेली लाइक होता है और उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं एल्ब्यूमिन. एल्ब्यूमिन. देयर इज अ वाइट जेली लाइक सब्सटेंस कॉल्ड एल्ब्यूमिन. इट इज रिच इन प्रोटीन. तो ये जो पार्ट है वो प्रोटीन रिच होता है, which is needed for the growth and development of growing baby inside the egg. तो अंदर जो बेबी है उसको बड़ा होने के लिए प्रोटीन चाहिए, क्योंकि प्रोटीन इन बॉडी बिल्डिंग होता है और बड़ा होने के लिए प्रोटीन चाहिए. और जो वो प्रोटीन है वो किस में होता है? वाइट जेली लाइक सब्सटेंस which is called albumin. Then there is yellow inside part of the egg. अब उस जेली लाइक सब्सटेंस के अंदर एक येलो पार्ट होता है which is called yolk. और इस योक में क्या होता है? योक में होते हैं फैट्स, विटामिन्स एंड मिनरल्स जो जरूरी है बेबी के लिए, विच इज ग्रोइंग इनसाइड द एग. द योक कंटेन्स फूड फॉर द ग्रोइंग बेबी और एम्ब्रियो. तो जो growing baby which is growing inside the egg, what is it called? It is called embryo. So ये yellow part में होते हैं fats, minerals and vitamins, और जो ये white part होता है जो albumin होता है, it contains protein. Once the embryo within the egg developed into a chick, जब वो एक बेबी में फॉर्म हो जाता है, द चिक ब्रेक्स, अब उसको बाहर आना है, वो चाहता है कि मैं इस एग में हूं, आई शुड कम आउट. सो जो वो चिक है, जो बेबी है, इट हैचेस द शेल एंड इट कम्स आउट. दिस इज कॉल्ड हैचिंग. ये जो प्रोसेस है जिसमें जो चिक है वो शेल को ब्रेक करके बाहर आता है, दिस प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड हैचिंग. The embryo receives the proper warmth from the parent animals sitting on them. This warmth helps the embryo to develop and to hatch successfully, and this is called incubation. तो incubation क्या होता है? The warmth of the parent, that the parent bird or the parent animal gives to the embryo in the egg, and even after hatching, the heat given by the parent to the chick is called incubation. The incubation process ensures the survival of the embryo maintaining the required temperature. जो embryo है inside the egg, उसको एक proper warmth चाहिए, temperature चाहिए, जो कहाँ से मिलता है? Body of the parent से. The various stages of growth from an embryo to a mature adult is called life cycle. तो एम्ब्रियो से लेकर जब तक वो पूरा बड़ा अडल्ट हो जाता है, इस पूरे प्रोसेस को व्हाट डू वी कॉल इट लाइफ साइकिल. तो ह्यूमन बींग्स का भी लाइफ साइकिल है, एक छोटे से इंसेक्ट का भी लाइफ साइकिल है, हर क्रीचर का, प्लांट्स का, हर क्रीचर का, जब वो एक छोटा सा एम्ब्रियो होता है या सीड होता है या एग होता है, तब से लेके जब तक वो अडल्ट बनता है, उस पूरे स्टेजेस को व्हाट डू वी कॉल इट लाइफ साइकिल. Birds. So let's see how do birds give birth to their young ones or lay eggs. Birds reproduce by laying eggs. Most of the birds build nests to lay their eggs. Birds like crow, hen, sparrow lay eggs in the nest and sit on them to keep them warm till they hatch. मतलब they incubate. Okay, they follow the process of incubation. Crow, hen and sparrow. Within the egg, the embryo goes through various stages of development before it hatches and the baby bird comes out. तो जब तक वो एग के अंदर हैं, एम्ब्रियो खुद अपने आप में बहुत सारे प्रोसेस से निकलता है till the time the chick hatches out. Along with birds, other animals that lay eggs include frog, snake, turtle, lizard, crocodile, butterfly, bee, mosquito, cockroach and grasshoppers. So there are so many creatures which lay eggs in order to reproduce. Now let's study about frogs. Frogs lay eggs in large numbers. वो एक साथ बहुत सारे eggs lay करते हैं. The eggs of the frogs are called spawns. So जो eggs होते हैं frog के, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Spawns बोलते हैं. They lay their eggs in water in safe place. तो water के अंदर किसी safe जगह पर they lay spawns. In the pond, the eggs are arranged in a jelly-like mass. The eggs of the frog develop into tadpoles. तो वो जो eggs हैं, so that it can be protected from water, so वो एक jelly like mass में होते हैं and then when they hatch, tadpole comes out. Correct? और ये जो tadpoles होते हैं, इनके अभी कोई lungs नहीं होते, they breathe through their gills and they have fins to swim in water and to search for their food. Slowly the lungs are developed and the feet and the legs of the frog comes out. Tadpoles do not have legs, they have fins that help them to swim around looking for food. They have gills for breathing underwater. After about 2 months, lungs and legs appear and they slowly grow into adult frog. Why lungs? Why gills? Because it's an amphibian Amphibian means frogs can survive both in the water also and on land also. So with the help of their legs, they can hop on land and move, and with the help of their fins, they can swim in water. Okay. Now comes fish. A fish lays thousands of eggs in water. बहुत सारे thousands of eggs water में देती है, but उसमें से कुछ 100 eggs ही survive कर पाते हैं. Why? Rest of the eggs are being eaten by other fishes. Alright, the other animals in the water. So जो कुछ है वो survive कर पाते हैं. जो एक baby fish होती है, we call it a fry. We call it fry. A fish lay thousands of eggs in water. Out of these, only a few hundred develop into a young fish. Many of the eggs and baby fishes are eaten by other fishes. A baby fish is called a fry. तो जो एग्स हैं, एग्स में से लार्वा बना, लार्वा से छोटी सी बेबी फिश बनी विच इज कॉल्ड फ्राई. जब वो थोड़ी सी और बड़ी हो जाती है, वी कॉल इट जुवेनाइल फिश, जुवेनाइल फिश, एंड देन एन अडल्ट fish. This is the life cycle of a fish. Then reptiles, ऐसे animals which crawl on land. They are called reptiles. They do not have legs to walk or to hop. They use their body to crawl on the surface. It can be ground, it can be wall. So they are called reptiles. Lizard, snake, these are the example of reptiles. Reptiles such as lizard, turtle, snake, crocodile are crawling creatures that lay eggs on the ground. अब ये जो reptiles होते हैं, they do not lay egg or in water, they lay egg on the ground. तो ये water में से बाहर आते हैं, land पर eggs देते हैं, और most of the parent of the reptiles, they do not take care of their eggs. अब उनकी egg को warmth कैसे मिलती है? From the sunlight. और जितने या तो उनको दूसरे animals eat कर लेते हैं, और अगर eat नहीं करते, जो survive कर जाते हैं, they hatch and they become adults. Most of these animals do not care for their eggs. The eggs are being warmed by the heat of the sun and not protected by the parents. Many of these are eaten by other animals. So you can see the eggs of the reptiles. They just lay their eggs and they go away. They do not take care of their eggs. Now comes the eggs of the insects. How do insects reproduce? तो जो insects होते हैं, they lay eggs only. All insects lay eggs to reproduce. बहुत छोटे छोटे उनके eggs होते हैं which cannot be seen by naked eye also. Young insects gradually mature into adult insect by continually shedding the outer layer of the skin from their bodies as they grow. तो क्या होता है, जो eggs होते हैं, जब वो mature होने लगते हैं, तो they keep on shedding their skin. वो अपनी skin उतारते रहते हैं, बहुत बारी उतारते हैं, and then finally they become adult. तो the process of shedding the skin, old skin, is called molting. Insects like grasshoppers and cockroaches pass through 3 stages in their life cycle. The baby comes out of the egg when it is almost like a full grown insect. तो egg के अंदर ही वो पूरा full grown insect बन जाता है. Then it comes out of the egg. The wingless baby insect is called a nymph. तो जब वो बाहर आता है तब उसके wings नहीं होते, and what is it called? It is called a nymph. It becomes an adult after shedding off its outer skin several times. तो तभी वो adult बनता है जब जो nymph है वो कई बारी अपनी skin को shed कर लेता है. New skin आती है, फिर shed करता है, फिर new skin आती है, फिर shed करता है, and in this way it becomes an adult. So this is the life cycle of a cockroach: the egg, the nymph, and then adult. Insects like butterfly and housefly undergo 4 stages of growth and development. तो 4 stages कौन सी होती हैं? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जो एक बटरफ्लाई है वो एग देती है, किस पे? मलबरी लीव्स पे देती है. तो वो जो एग है फर्स्ट वो बनता है एक कैटरपिलर में, लार्वा में. जो लार्वा होता है, बटरफ्लाई का लार्वा इज कॉल्ड कैटरपिलर एंड दैट ऑफ अ हाउस फ्लाई इज कॉल्ड मैगॉट. ओके, तो जो एग है वो हैच होकर लार्वा में हैच होता है और कैटरपिलर बन जाता है. अब जो कैटरपिलर है इट शेड्स ऑफ इट्स स्किन मेनी टाइम्स एंड द लार्वा फीड्स एंड ग्रोज रैपिडली. आफ्टर सम टाइम इट स्टॉप्स ईटिंग एंड फॉर्म्स अ कवरिंग कॉल्ड प्यूपा अराउंड इटसेल्फ. तो अब जो कैटरपिलर है वो मलबरी लीव्स खाता है, बहुत सारा खाना खाता है और बड़ा होता है. देन इट स्टॉप्स ईटिंग और अपने आसपास एक कवरिंग बना लेता है विच इज कॉल्ड प्यूपा. कुछ टाइम के बाद वो कवरिंग हटती है और उसमें से एक ब्यूटिफुल बटरफ्लाई, ग्रोन अडल्ट बटरफ्लाई आ जाती है. तो अगर आपको कभी कैटरपिलर दिखता है किसी लीफ पर, वो एक्चुअली कुछ टाइम बाद बटरफ्लाई बनने वाला है. सो हाउ इंटरेस्टिंग इज दैट. Now let's scratch our brain a little bit and see what have we learned till now. The yellow part of an egg is called the yolk. The frog lays egg in clusters called spawns. Baby fish is called a fry. Process of shedding the old skin in an insect is called molting. Animals that give birth to their young ones. तो अभी तक हमने पढ़ा उन एनिमल्स के बारे में जो ले करते थे एग्स. नाउ लेट्स रीड अबाउट दोज एनिमल्स विच ले विच गिव बर्थ टू देयर यंग वंस. Humans are one of those animals. Some animals reproduce by giving birth to young ones. Animals that give birth to their young ones and feed them on their milk are called mammals. तो ऐसे एनिमल्स जो सीधा बेबीज को ही बर्थ देते हैं और उनका सर्वाइवल होता है इनिशियल कुछ मंथ्स में बाय ऑन द मदर्स मिल्क, ऐसे क्रीचर्स को हम लोग बोलते हैं मैमल्स. Human beings along with cat, dog, goat, lion, deer, cow, buffalo, horse, zebra, giraffe, monkey and rabbit are some common example of mammals. In mammals, the babies develop inside mother's body and it is called a womb. At the time of birth, they are fully developed. The mothers feed them with her milk. All mammals have hair on their body which keep them warm. तो most of the mammals की body पर hair होते हैं to keep them warm. और जब वो पैदा होते हैं they are fully developed. उनके प्रॉपर बॉडी पार्ट्स होते हैं, उनका ब्रेन वेल डेवलप्ड होता है. मैमल्स हैव वेल डेवलप्ड ब्रेन्स. मोस्ट मैमल्स लिव ऑन लैंड एंड ब्रीथ थ्रू लंग्स. तो मोस्ट ऑफ द मैमल्स जो हैं वो लंग से ही ब्रीथ करते हैं और लैंड पर ही रहते हैं. बट देयर आर फ्यू एक्सेप्शंस, जैसे कि कुछ मैमल्स हैं लाइक स्पाइनी एंट ईटर या डक बिल्ड प्लैटिपस, जो है तो मैमल्स बट दे ले एग्स. ओके, देन मैमल्स लाइक whale and dolphin, they do not live on land, they are aquatic animals, they live in water and still they give birth to young ones. And when they are born, they do not have hair on their body to keep them warm. Alright, so water animals like whales and dolphins are also mammals, but they do not have hair on their body. And also bat is a flying mammal. So these are few exceptions. Now, how do mammals take care of their young ones? Mammals care for their young ones. The mother suckles her young ones using her own milk. तो जो मैमल्स में मदर होती है जो यंग वंस को बर्थ देती है, इट सकल्स द यंग वंस बाय गिविंग her milk to the young ones for their survival in initial months. She also protects them against enemies. जो छोटे बेबीज हैं अपना प्रोटेक्शन खुद नहीं कर सकते, अपनी रक्षा खुद नहीं कर सकते, उनकी मदर्स, उनके पेरेंट्स उनके लिए एनिमीज से उनको प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं, ऑल्सो उनके लिए फूड अरेंज करते हैं. So as they grow, she teaches them to find food and live on their own. Males guard the young ones while also engaging in food hunting. तो जो मेल्स होते हैं वो भी अपने बेबीज को प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं और साथ साथ उनके लिए फूड भी हंट करते हैं. और जैसे जैसे उनके बेबीज ग्रो करने लगते हैं, एनिमल्स टीचेस देम टू हंट देयर ओन फूड. सो this is how they protect them. This is all in this chapter. These are few keywords that we have learnt today. Reproduction, the process by which animals produce their own kind. Incubation, sitting on the eggs by birds in order to keep them warm. Life cycle, various stages of development of living being from an embryo to a mature adult. Caterpillar, larva of a butterfly. Metamorphosis, a complete change from a young form to an adult form. Molting, the process of shedding old skin. Mammals, animals that give birth to young ones and suckle them. Also remember that animals reproduce by either laying eggs or giving birth to young ones. An egg has a shell called eggshell, a white jelly-like substance called albumin, which is rich in protein and yolk. Some of the egg-laying animals are birds, fishes, reptiles and insects. The eggs of the frogs are called spawns. A baby butterfly is a caterpillar, then it becomes a pupa before it turns into a butterfly. Living things have the ability to reproduce. Mammals care for their young ones. Let's assess ourselves and see what have we learned today. Mammals reproduce by giving birth to young ones. The yellow portion inside an egg is called the yolk. Okay, in the first one, mammals reproduce by giving birth to the young ones laying eggs. Yes, there are two exceptions who lay eggs. So we can just, correct the option C, both A and B. The young of a cockroach is called nymph. Which of these is a mammal? Bat is a mammal. Which of these mammals doesn't lay eggs? Zebra give birth to young ones and both the other ones lay eggs. Let's fill in the blanks. The yolk contains food for the growing baby or embryo. The larva of a butterfly is called caterpillar. And that of a housefly is called maggot. The wingless baby insect is called a nymph. Animals that give birth to their young ones and feed them on their milk are called mammals. Mammals have well-developed brain. Let's write true or false for the following statements. Reproduction is one of the important characteristics of all the living beings. True. An egg has a thin protective outer covering called albumin. No, it is called eggshell. So false. Crocodile lays its eggs in water. No, it lays eggs on land. In mammals, the baby develops outside mother's body. No, it develops inside mother's body. The hair on the body of mammals keep them warm. Correct. True. These are few questions that you are going to answer in your notebook yourself. We can discuss here it in short. What is reproduction? Creating or producing more creatures of one kind is called reproduction. Why is it important for all living beings? To keep the life existence or intact on earth. That's why reproduction is necessary to keep the life going. Describe the structure of an egg with a well labeled diagram. You can just draw the diagram that is given in your book with the eggshell and the albumin and the yolk. Explain the life cycle of a frog. So please explain about the spawn and the tadpole and the young frog and the adult frog. And you can just draw the diagram. Describe life cycle of a butterfly. There are 4 stages, and the eggs, and then the larva, which is caterpillar, and then pupa, and then again butterfly. So you can draw it. Define the following: incubation, the warmth given by the parent to the embryo before hatching. Metamorphosis, the life cycle from the young one to the adult. Molting, shedding of the skin of the insect. What are mammals? The creatures that give birth to their young ones and feed them on their milk, they are mammals. How do they take care of their young ones? By providing them food, by protecting them from enemies. So that's how they take care of their young ones. Okay, why do whales and dolphins come out of the water frequently? Because they are mammals, they have lungs, they need air to breathe in, oxygen to breathe in. So they come out of the water to breathe, and when they come out, they take in a lot of oxygen and store it so that they can just roam freely in water. These are some fun-based questions that you can do yourself with your friends, with your families, and have fun with the chapter. So you can collect pictures of some animals who suckle their young ones and paste them in your scrapbook. Please circle each type of animal or insect using different color pencil that record the number in the boxes alongside. So for example, zebra. So there is 1, 2, 3. Only 3 zebras are here, so we'll write 3. Okay. Here is a list of some animals, and some of them lay eggs, some of them give birth to their young ones. So complete the list, and so there are 2 terms which are written over here. Animals that give birth to young ones, they are called viviparous animals, and that lay eggs, they are called oviparous animals. So isn't that interesting? Dolphin actually give birth to their young ones, so it's viviparous. So we will write over here. Parrot, it lays eggs, so we will write it here. Please complete the whole table. Now you can also visit a zoo or a bird sanctuary, look at the various nests and record it in your notebook. Also you can write about the materials that are used to make nests. Now you can make a chart on aquatic animals and their features, like how do they swim, how do they breathe, how do they survive in water, and display the chart in your classroom. Then if possible, if there is a nest in your house, you have to look after them, after that nest, and what you would do if you found a nest with eggs in your house. Would you throw the nest, or you will just try to crack open the eggs yourself, or you think that you will to incubate, you will put some cotton on the eggs, or you won't touch them and you will just watch it from the distance, or you will provide the parent birds with water and food. I think part D and part E would be the things that I would do if I found a nest in my house. Okay, so on digital format there are many podcasts available. You can just hear them and collect some information. Also, please try to find out some cool facts on the podcast from the podcast medium, and collect more information about animals and birds. This is all about this chapter. I hope you have learned a lot about how do animals reproduce and take care of their young ones. That's all. Keep learning, keep shining. Bye bye.